Hello, beautiful souls. This week, we're diving into the transformative practice of reflection and adjustment, which are essential for staying aligned with our true goals and values. Many of you have expressed a desire for clarity on what it truly means to reflect, and I'm excited to unpack this concept with you. Reflection isn't just a moment of pause. It's an opportunity to reconnect with ourselves, to understand our emotions, and to assess our journeys. In this podcast, I'll address your questions about reflection and exploring how it can enhance your emotional intelligence and lead to sustainable personal growth. As we navigate our paths, it's natural to encounter challenges. But through mindful reflection, we can stay motivated and resilient. This process allows us to evaluate our progress and make necessary adjustments, ensuring that our goals remain not just relevant, but also deeply fulfilling. I want you to join me as we cultivate a mindset of adaptability and self-awareness, which are essential tools in our shared quest for meaningful growth. Reflecting on my journey has become a powerful emotional anchor for me. Each day and week, when I sit down to journal, I feel a surge of gratitude of what I have accomplished. There's a bittersweet essence to it, though. While I celebrate my progress, I also confront the moments that challenge me. It's in those quiet reflections that I understand my growth is not just about achievements, but about the lessons learned along the way. This allows me to practice to embrace my emotions fully: joy for victories, vulnerability in setbacks. And it offers clarity on how I can keep moving forward with intention and purpose. Let me share a story about a client who used reflection and adjustment to overcome a career setback. By evaluating her journey and recalibrating her goals, she was able to regain momentum and achieve success. Emma, a 30-year-old project manager, always prided herself on her adaptability to juggle multiple responsibilities with ease. However, as her career advanced, she found herself struggling to maintain her usual level of performance. The mounting pressure at work, coupled with her personal commitments, left her feeling overwhelmed and exhausted. "I feel like I'm constantly running on empty," she confided in a close friend, with her voice tinged with frustration and fatigue. Despite her hard work, Emma felt like she was barely keeping her head above water, and her self-doubt began to creep in. Realizing she needed a change, Emma decided to practice reflection and adjustment. She started setting aside time each week to evaluate her progress and reassess her goals. Initially, this was challenging for Emma, as she had to confront her feelings of inadequacy and acknowledge areas where she fell short. "It was tough to admit that I couldn't do it all," she reflected. "But I knew I had to face it if I wanted to move forward." Through regular reflection, Emma began to recognize her strengths and achievement, which she had often overlooked in her pursuit of perfection. The newfound awareness allowed her to celebrate her success, no matter how small, and build her confidence. More importantly, she learned to adjust her goals to make them more realistic and attainable, considering her current circumstances. That's key. Emma would say, "I realize that it's okay to recalibrate my path, and that doing so doesn't mean I'm failing. It means I'm growing." By integrating reflection and adjustment into her routine, Emma was able to regain control over her life. She prioritized well, set boundaries at work, and made time for activities that rejuvenated her spirit. This shift not only improved her professional performance, but it also enriched her personal life, allowing her to engage more meaningful with her loved ones. Emma's journey is a testament to the power of reflection and adjustment in fostering resilience and emotional intelligence. Her story reminds us that acknowledging our limitations and recalibrating our goals is not a sign of weakness, but a step of courageousness towards sustainable growth and fulfillment. Reflection involves evaluating your journey, acknowledging achievements and areas for improvement. Adjusting is about recalibrating your goals based on these insights. I recommend a book by Brené Brown called The Gifts of Imperfection. This book is an excellent resource for clients looking to embrace reflection and adjustment in their lives. Brené Brown, a renowned researcher and storyteller, explores the power of vulnerability and self-compassion. She provides insights into how letting go of perfection and embracing our imperfections can lead to a more authentic and fulfilling life. Through her guideposts, readers learn to cultivate resilience, practice self-reflection, and make necessary adjustments to align with their true selves. This book can be a valuable tool for anyone seeking their emotional intelligence and personal growth. Here's some ways from this book that I can recommend 3 tips from her book. Encourage yourself and treat yourselves with kindness and understanding, especially when you face setbacks or make mistakes. Remind yourself that imperfection is a part of being human, and self-compassion can foster resilience and growth. Set realistic goals. I want to advise you to regularly assess your goals and adjust them to be more realistic and attainable. I want to encourage you to break down your larger goals into smaller, manageable steps, allowing for flexibility and adaptation as they progress. Last tip from this book, create a reflection routine. I want to suggest to you to set aside a dedicated time each week for reflection. During this time, you will journal about your achievements and challenges and feelings. This practice can help you gain insight into your journey, recognize areas of improvement, and celebrate your progress. Everybody is different on when they have quiet time, especially depending on what's on your plate. Are you a mom? What are your roles? The list goes on. I could answer that. I would say whatever best works for you. For some of us, mornings are best. Where I'm a single woman with no young kids. My kids are grown, and it could be mornings are the best time because it's quiet. For me, I find that at the end of the day is best, because then I can look at my decision making. I can look at the progress that I'm making, my small milestones towards my goals. And then at the end of the week, I do it for the entire week. So it is up to you to decide what's a better time. For some people, it's actually in the middle of the day because they take their lunchtime or they can take their break and go for a walk, and they either dictate to their journals on their phones, or they're able to sit by a tree or someplace quiet and write. A lot of people, when you say the word reflection, they think it's just sitting still. It may be a meditation thing. And while those are aspects of reflection, it's actually not the true story. Reflection means to look back, to understand, to now survey the land or survey the area or the decision that you've made, and then look for parts of improvement. One of the things that we don't do when we're trying to map out our schedule is actually be honest about the time we have or the time it takes us to do tasks. I'll give you an example. I'm a student and I want to come to class on time. I know I'm not a morning person, but I have an 8:30 a.m. class. What do I do to get ready? Seeing that it's going to take me some time, the first thing is set a 2-hour window. Why a 2-hour window? Because getting up in the morning is an arduous task sometimes, right? So for me, I have to sit on the edge of the bed. I can't just jump up. I need to just sit there and just breathe. I need my time with God in order to focus for the rest of the day. And then the routine starts, making coffee, putting on my makeup, deciding what I'm going to wear, and then actually get out of the house to get to class. So when you're doing something like a schedule and you want to break down your task, you have to be honest about your time. In any task, you should be honest about the time it takes for you to do something so that you know how to set the task appropriately. With scheduling and being late, some people may have to start 3 hours ahead of time to make sure. And since we're talking about schedule as the example, when you're looking at, I have a meeting at 10 o'clock, and somebody asks you, can we meet at 11? The answer is no. You need time after your 10 o'clock meeting to adjust, maybe make some notes, take water, drink some water, go to the bathroom, make sure you have moments. If you cannot have hours or you cannot set a time for self-care, this is a good time. Take 5 minutes for yourself in between arduous tasks so you don't feel burnout at the end of the day. Okay, here's your challenge this week. Take time each week to reflect on your progress. What have you achieved? What needs to be adjusted? Use these insights to refine your goals and strategies. Reflect on how reflecting on your progress impacts your motivation. What achievement can you celebrate today? I want you to consider sharing these reflections with a trusted friend or mentor for additional insights. Remember, reflecting and adjusting are powerful practices that enhance emotional intelligence and foster sustainable growth. Embrace these practices with an open mind and heart, knowing that growth is a continuous journey. I would love to hear your stories and connect with you. Share your progress and let us support each other on this journey of reflection and adjustment. I love answering questions. It gives me a little room of flexibility, and I love hearing what you would like to learn from. So there are some ways that we can do this. You can DM me in my Instagram, or you can set up a one-on-one time with me to have a coaching session. Either way, I will answer your questions or try to answer your questions because sometimes I can't answer everything. So answer your questions in the next podcast. Thank you so much, and I look forward to hearing from you.